Semion was standing on the road, ringed by serfs, all keeping their distance. I heard Glasha before I saw her. "What do you mean, you don't belong here?" she said, her voice choked with angry tears. She was still in her wedding shift. "How can you not know me?" Semion's wedding tunic was torn, as if it didn't fit right or even belong on him. "This is not my home," he said, and his voice was cold. The serfs began to mutter angrily. "Semion," I called. He turned, his eyes flickering with anger. You know the way off," he yelled, and ran at me like a man possessed. A walking cane planted firmly in his chest and stopped him in his tracks. "Now then, Semyon Borisovich, calm down, sir." It was the doctor, of course. "What's all this, eh? Don't you know your friends?" Semion had a determination which scared me, but the doctor was more than his match. It didn't need words, but it lasted a long moment as they each tried to outstare the other. And then finally, Semion smiled and pushed the cane away from his chest. "What would you know, doctor?" he said. "You, who belong nowhere." The doctor looked at him sternly. "Semion, what did you find in that crashed ship?" Semion's eyes seemed to shift color. "You're a scientist," he said. "Yes, I'm a scientist," the doctor agreed. "Not a magician. I don't travel in a hut on chicken's legs." "Better if you did," snapped Semion. "You scientists never leave anything alone. You treat us as specimens. That's all we are to you." The doctor didn't flinch. He was all charm and smiles. "Semion, what did you see in the forest? You must tell us, huh?" My friend lifted his head. His eyes had gone jet black. "It's my forest," he growled. "Yes, of course, but what did you see, "I saw a forester." The doctor and I exchanged glances. "Semion, were you attacked?" I asked. "Was it the bear or something else?" "Bear?" complained the doctor. "What bear? You never mentioned a bear." Semion didn't even look at me. "That the brute," he said. "He was just at the start." And he turned away to glare round the crowd, people who'd been his friends and neighbors. "Who's next?" he whispered. The serfs began to back away, but at that moment Glasha's mother pushed through the crowd. She was clutching a cup of water which she threw in his face. "Holy water," she cried. "When was he last in church? He's cursed. That's why he deserted my daughter." The crowd grumbled with agreement. Several grabbed Semion and held him tight, but he didn't struggle. "Throw him out!" shouted one. "String him up!" yelled another. "Leave him alone!" I shouted back and tried to push them away. But Semion only looked from one serf to the next, spreading his contempt around.